fucking go. That sounds kinky, Faith, but you know, I'm down. What are we doing? Why did we come here? Oh, okay. We're looking for evidence that it was Genocide Jack. Okay.
Don't make me repeat myself.
Well, alrighty then, dick. It's more of a, like, it's harder for me to get to my normal talking level. Like, the effort I have to exert to get there is more, and I can kind of feel it scratching a bit. Alright, so, this asshole hates me. What's new? What's in here? If I remember, on the other side of this door, it's the archive. Oh. Hurry up and go inside. Well,
let's go.
It'll all make sense once you're inside. That is a lot of books. That is a whole lot of books. What's up, Kawaii? That is the most adorable derpy emote I've ever seen. So much dust.
So, in other words,
I would say there's enough value in this place to endure the dust. Okay. Shelf is stuffed tight with files. Without really thinking about it, I picked one at random. You have a sharp eye indeed to select that file. I do.
That's right.
That's the report on a presidential assassination. The original is kept at the National Library. Won't be declassified for another 30 years. You sure you want to look at it now? Should I tell you whose crosshairs you might wind up in for peeking at it? I slowly put it the fuck back, apparently. There's so many. What's in all these things?
Enough.
Those documents are dangerous. And there goes Belgian, doing his thing like he fucking does. You wheeling it? Yep, alright. Alright, Molasses, I'm gonna hit you with what it lands on. You can update it for me, alright? Ready? They detail all the people who control the world from behind the scenes. Dangerous truth for a commoner. Oh, so it's the Illuminati files. Nice. Members of the Diet. What the fuck's a Diet? No, I mean the ones with real power. The secret council controlling everything from the shadows. Really? You're gonna pull the Illuminati into this? Really? If you're ready to be disappeared for it. If you're ready to be disappeared for it. Okay, that's interesting. Take a look. There's a very interesting people in there. Ah! Jesus. Well, the wheel Molasses went to Zelda 1 because of course it fucking did. What about you, Don? What do you want to do? You're just kidding, right? Am I? Okay, so don't read any books. Got it. Got anything down here? There's a wooden box. It's empty. Although judging by smudges in the dust, it looks like there was something inside. Wonder what it was. There was an extension cord plugged in there. It proved very useful when I was in the library. There's a ton of thick files stuffed into the bookshelf. If you think of looking through any of them, let me give you a little warning. Those things are filled with graphic, disturbing photos from all kinds of crime scenes. It's the kind of thing any normal person would never want to look at. Be careful. Uh-oh. All those are related to investigation reports related to different cold cases. Those are internal documents for police eyes only. They're not the kind of thing you'd expect to leak. Okay. That's suspicious in and of itself. I want to look at the shit on the floor. Damn it. I want to look in the little box. I won't let me look in the box. If you pay attention to your surroundings, you're sure to discover that value for yourself. Am I? Oh! Oh, this whole time I'm investigating the bookshelf behind him, not actually these. No, okay, nope, never mind. I was trying to look at the boxes, but doesn't want me to look at the boxes. Will that count? No, it still counts as the fucking bookshelf. God damn it. Every time I look at a bug, he yells at me. Dick. This is the... yeah. A desk lamp. Yeah, he was using it. That's right, because the lighting was pretty shit. In the one place.
What?
Yeah. Do you have a problem with that lamp? It was here before, then I moved it over there. It's too dark over there, so I thought I'd put it to good use. So you finally beginning to understand the true splendor of this library. The entire reason I was interested in the library is because of this room right here.
Interesting. It's
home to classified government documents, police records, things no ordinary person would ever see. Isn't it magnificent? Dude, what? I forgot what button it is though, Jack.
Such ignorance.
That's your guys' problem. Anything that doesn't fit into your preconceived reality, you labeled a lie. Yeah, that sounds about right. Well, it's not that. It's just, it's not like I totally refuse to believe it, but I mean, there's just so much. How could anyone have put all this together? I suppose it goes to show just how much Hope's Peak truly wields. Or perhaps the mastermind may have wanted to provide us with enough entertainment to keep us from getting bored. Okay. Yeah, I can't keep up with all this. It's just too unreal. I mean, I can keep up with it. It's just my character's an idiot. So, what's wrong? You still can't believe it? Well, how can you believe it so easily? There's things like that are usually impossible. What do you mean usually? Usual, normal, ordinary, simple? Those things don't exist anywhere in the real world. If you don't understand what they actually represent, you don't understand the nature of anything. This guy's a dick. Besides, what you consider usual is based on your common sense, right? But what makes you think your own common sense applies to me at all? The documents gathered here are genuine. I've reviewed them multiple times. Whoa, you said you read all these documents and more than once? But all this had to be like top secret confidential stuff, right? So why? Here we go. Showing how much fucking money he's got. Ours is bigger, of course, and not as dusty. Members of the Togami family have access to any variety of government-related documents. That includes foreign powers as well as domestic. You have that much money, dude?
So, in other words...
I already told you, there's a secret council that controls the world from the shadows. My family is a member of that council, and I have within me the bloodline that will allow me to one day bend the world to my will. But to become such a ruler, I must know all levels of this world backwards and forwards. So whenever I have time, I like to review whatever documents and materials that interest me. Which is why I can proclaim, without a doubt, that the materials gathered here are the real thing. Excuse me? Oh. It's actually starting to scare me more than the actual mastermind. And what always interested me the most were the cold case police investigation reports. Reading through those reports have always been a hobby of mine ever since I was little. It's excellent mental exercise. I've solved more than a few of those cases just by reviewing the reports. And among all those reports, one of my recent favorites is the Genocide Jack case. Okay.
That's right.
Well, can I see it? Every single report surrounding the Genocide Jack cases have been compiled in here. Because there are so many, allow me to quickly summarize the main points. To begin, there are two notable characteristics in every murder. The first characteristic is that every crime scene, the word bloodlust is written in the victim's own blood. And the second is that when the victims are murdered, their bodies are suspended in a certain way. Okay. It's exactly the same as Chihiro. Save your surprise. The best part is yet to come. For the second characteristic, where the victims are suspended, the only ones who knew about that particular fact were members of the police and other higher-ups. It was never made publicly known. So, by all accounts, nobody in the media ever found out. In other words, no one knew about that aspect of each crime. Only key officials and the killer himself knew about that act of mounting the victim. Now, if you recall her corpse, her body was most certainly mounted in this fashion. So how could the killer have known about suspending the victim?
That's right.
But in fact, the answer is quite simple.
So
the culprit isn't a copycat, it's the real Genocide Jack. Gasp.
In other words...
That's right. That evidence is Genocide Jack hidden himself among the rest of us. So... such a brutal, fiendish killer is really walking around among us. And is likely a teenager. Things are really starting to get interesting, aren't they? I never imagined a killer with such reputation would ever become part of our little game. Now, don't you think it would be good for you to take a look at what I've already seen? You might just manage to ferret out a clue or two. If you get down on your knees and beg, I might even show you myself. Dude. Fuck you. Do you have a problem with that lamp? No. Oh. Okay. All those files are investigation reports related to cold cases. I know. I know. Is it tab? It is tab. Well. About that Genocide Jack case file. Could you let me see it? Oh, he still got it. Okay. Well, you didn't beg, but I guess it's okay this time. Feel free to look at it in here, but you can't take it with you. I flipped through it with tense, nervous fingers. Suddenly my hand stopped. I had reached the page where photos from the scene of each crime had been collected. Good God. I'm not even gonna try with those names. One thing became perfectly clear as I read. All the killer's countless victims were killed and suspended in exactly the same way. Into the scene, bloodlust was written in the victim's blood. And take a look at the next page, you'll find another interesting tidbit. Profiling results. All the crimes took place either on weekdays at night or during holidays, either day or night. Most common time for the killings to take place was on holidays in the afternoon. Based on these facts, it could be suggested the suspect may be a student. Evidence suggests that the suspect lingered at the scene, but when they did leave, they were in a panic. Because an eyewitness has never come forward, it's unlikely there's any external reason for this. This confused behavior suggests that the suspect may potentially suffer from dissociative identity disorder.
So, in other words...
The key point here is the culprit may have a split personality. Yep. I mean, we kind of already knew that just from the way Bitch Tits was acting. Some part of another totally unbelievable story. But this one's way more unbelievable than anything else up until now. Or maybe it really isn't. I don't know. I feel like my mind's gone numb. Okay, well.
Let's go.
Where are we going? Anywhere but here. We finished our business here, haven't we? Wait. And he just leaves me. Okay, as usual, he left without another word. I chased after him like the little bitch that I am. Well, this is where we part ways. I have some things I need to take care of before the class trial. Just like that, dude.
I don't have time to play with you.
Enough of your annoying misapprehensions. Do you really think we'd be together the whole time? Take responsibility for yourself and do something useful. Move the investigation forward on your own. Bye. Why does he got to be such a fucking prick? Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, okay? He's smart. And not only do I respect that, like, it's really helpful in this scenario, but my God, he's such a prick. Just as quick as he'd ask me to join him, he'd cut me off. I am a plaything getting tossed around. Seems to be compensating. It's just Peter. At the same time, I uncovered some really important clues thanks to him. Genocide Jack. He's the one that killed Chihiro. And that murderous fiend is one of us. But who is it? I have to find that out no matter what it takes. And to do that, there's somewhere I have to go investigate one more time. I have to go back to the girls' locker room. I should check the boys' locker room too. And the others might have come up with some info I might find useful while I'm at it. I need to find out everything I can. Yeah. But hey, Tractor, how you doing? We're still investigating. We haven't really done much yet. Wait, I'm like right there, aren't I? That Gatling gun catches me off guard. Wee woo, they're coming. Were you here before? Hey Kyoko, have you made progress on your investigation? Really is Point Pleasant.
However,
I have to get going. I have something unrelated to take care of. Are you hungry? Because I'm hungry. What is it?
well,
Nothing you need to worry about. Just concentrate on the murder. But
so then,
before I go, let me give you a piece of advice. You should examine the body one more time. Thoroughly. Also, her handbook is missing. You might want to determine its whereabouts.
goodbye.
I'll be praying for your success. Gee, thanks, I guess. And she's gone. I guess take another look at the body. And the handbook is missing. Okay. I have a guess. I have a big guess. And I think I'm gonna be right. And I really hope I'm not. I know she said thoroughly, but I do have my limits. I better give it a shot anyway. Hands are bound with what looks like some kind of rope. The rope was used to prop her up in kind of a crucifix position. The rope has a plug. So this isn't a rope at all. Uh-huh, it's an extension cord. Chihiro's fatal injury was the blow to the head, which means someone struck her in the head in order to kill her. Okay. There's the issue of her being suspended and the fatal blow. At first, I didn't see any reason to think too much about either of them. Seeing them again after looking through the Genocide Jack file, something's not quite right. What does this all mean? One thing most likely to tie all these mysteries together is the true nature of the rope that was used to suspend Chihiro. And to figure that out, there's a certain place I need to revisit and look over again. Plus, it might help to look at that case file one more time. Think so? Get real complex about being weak. You heard Chihiro talk about it, right? Oh yeah, we had this conversation. Yeah. Explains the trip down here. Yeah, we had this conversation. You already mentioned it, but she was a girl after all. Most girls aren't all that strong. That's still really suspicious. Like, really suspicious. I'm gonna check the boys' locker room before I go back to the archives. Oh, that's the pull. That's not what I want. Can I just walk out of here? Do I have to, like, warp out? I might have to warp out. That's fine. I'm sure that... Alternatively, I can't warp out. So that means I haven't found everything here. Have you noticed anything different?
Damn.
Her presence here was especially weak, her body and her soul.
No forgiveness!
And she's about ready to go Super Saiyan again. cannot forgive this. Yeah. Yeah, normally the button to like leave a room is X, but right now it just pulls this up and I can't seem to warp, which is interesting. The game did say there would be moments like that, which makes me think maybe there's something in here I haven't found yet. Blood is the most noteworthy part, but the big-breasted swimsuit model is pretty noticeable too. Girls' locker room doesn't seem like the kind of place you'd find something like this. See, I made the same comment yesterday. And then you guys were like, Jacob. I'm like, oh, whatever, it's a crime scene, okay? Leave me alone. Actually, yeah, it's not the only thing that concerns me. Fatal injury is a blow to the head. Given that they were all stabs, just blunt instrument out of nowhere does seem a little odd. Control? Control for what? Guys, I think Jack's crazy. It is.
Hey!
I can see she's dead, Belgian! You don't have to remind us. Oh. I guess it just hated me for a minute. It's fine. I'll check boys' locker room. You have one job, Tractor. One job. Oh, the posters have been switched. Figured it all out. That's it. I figured it all out. Ooh! Oh no! Okay, I figured out a huge chunk of something, but it does something else. Chihiro's a boy. And was killed in here. Which is why there was blood on the poster. That's why the poster switch couldn't get the blood out of the poster. Which means a girl didn't do it, a boy did. That would explain why the tablet's missing. Popular boy band called Tornado somehow doesn't quite seem to fit in the boys' locker room. But wait, that reminds me, the poster in the other locker room is... Yeah, in the boys' locker room, there's a poster of a popular boy band. In the girls' locker room, there's boobs. Could the posters have been switched? But if they were, why? What reason would anyone have? Maybe I should talk to someone who knows a little more about locker rooms. I have all the theories. Ah! There's a strange stain on the carpet. Okay, that further confirms my thought. What about a dumbbell, maybe? No, okay. Huh, alright. Are you gonna maybe sell them then, Chuck? I mean, if they're good seats, maybe they'd sell well. Baseball isn't my thing, but I don't know if it's your thing or not. I mean, obviously since you can't go on the day, but you know. Fumi's discovered evidence revealing the identity of the culprit.
I feel as if
a stat increase. Nerd. What'd you find? You can't reveal it. But I guarantee that what I found will steal the killer's breath from his lungs. Miss Ludenberg said she'd witnessed something worthwhile too. Oh, she refused to tell me. It's like when a girl bullies the boy she likes, right? You can't have her. She's mine. So where's Celeste now? Warehouse by the dorms. She was there, but at the same time not there. Okay, whatever, dude. Is there any reason I can't warp? Yeah, it just really doesn't want me to warp. I mean, it's okay. It's just I meant to leave. I meant to leave, and I pushed the wrong button like an idiot. Oh, I can't warp out because I can't leave this area yet. I was gonna go check the library, but... Huh. That means there's still something here. Boys locker room card reader. The door's unlocked now, so it's kind of point. Yeah. Do you have anything? Yeah, you spent a lot of time exercising in the girls' locker room, right?
Of course.
Used it nearly every day since it opened up. Sometimes he and I use it together. Okay, question. Do you think the posters in the boys' and girls' locker rooms could have been switched?
I'm sorry.
Never paid any attention to it.
However,
But there is something that's been bothering me about the locker room. You see, I like to drink a little protein coffee every time I finish exercising. Okay, first of all, we have protein coffee. Second of all, protein coffee exists? In the warehouse. It's not the highest quality, but I don't have a lot of other options. I mix protein powder with coffee and down a glass of it after exercising. Sounds really gross. Anyway, the other day I spilled some on the carpet in the girls' locker room and it left a stick. They switched the carpets because the one had blood, which means... There we go. Yep. Boom. A stain. I don't see any stain on the carpet now.
Of course.
Exactly. The stain's disappeared. I can only assume someone came along and cleaned it up. But still, isn't it unusually clean, as if there was never a stain here to begin with? Nah, they moved the carpet and they switched the poster to make it look like the murder had taken place in the girls' locker room when it in fact had taken place in the boys' locker room, which means Chihiro's a boy. Why though? Why would you do that? Actually, now that I look at it, it looks crumpled as shit. You see that? Okay, you guys heard that, right? Like, I'm not crazy, you heard that? Cool. The boys' locker room, popular. Yeah. Could the posters have been switched? But they were. Why? Okay, well, whatever. Hey, doofus. Okay, you're gonna give me the same spiel. All right. Thanks, Jack. As soon as Mario starts catching up. Okay, library. Desk lamp. Grab that one thing from over here and put it over there. Sure is dark over there. It's like I know what you want, but I don't know exactly how you want me to do it. Because it's an extension cord, which came from here. Hello. There's a thick layer of dust on top of the desk.
I'm hungry.
Dude, I'm starving. I'm so hungry right now. Like, holy fuck. Because I haven't eaten yet today, and I've just been drinking water, so I'm just like... Anyway, Belgian, I'm going to assume you want a wheel. Yeah? I want pizza. All right, let me wheel for you. Hang on. And wait, I'm sorry, Toad in the Hole. I only vaguely know what that is because of RuneScape. And for Belgians 1234, we have Castlevania. Okay. We'll do the 404. The gift sub would go to with the other gift sub, so it would go to Zelda 1, unfortunately. The 404 goes to Zelda 1. The lamp won't turn on. Oh, it's not plugged in. The lamp's cord isn't long enough to reach the outlet from here, but last time I saw it, it was definitely on. It was definitely right here because it had an extension cord. No extension cord here now. I wonder if... Really? That's what you want from me, game? Really? But then what about the other lamp? There's 2 lamps. Does it really need to be 2? That sounds really odd, Jack. I'd try it, but... Okay, and what is... Okay, hold on. What is... Remind me what that type of pudding is. Remind me what that is. Happy birthday. It's not my birthday. It's not my birthday for a couple months still, but, I mean, thanks. Thanks, Bean Man. Appreciate it. The desk lamp. Uh-huh. Okay, no. So maybe there's not? Because it came from here. Nothing that helps me anyway. Go, A Link to the Past, out of spite. There's still more I need to check. Oh, so there is. What about the lamp itself? She's an extension cord. Where did it go? Did he take it and... I mean, it's possible. That would be nutty. Maybe there's something else I missed. I want to take another look at the case file. Oh, okay. Oh, I don't actually have the case file. I just have what I remember from the case file. That's why it didn't work. Okay, makes sense now. It's gone. Did someone take it out of the archive? They're the only one to do something like that. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, I also need to go to the warehouse. Where's that at? Oh wait, I know where it is. Never mind. I got it. We're good. I remember. Mostly. You guys have so many interesting, like, foods and shit that I'd like to try. Wasn't it this way? Or is this something else I'm thinking of? This might be something else I'm thinking of. That's trash room. Yeah, it was totally something else I was thinking of. I don't remember where the fucking warehouse is. Yeah. if it was as fun to navigate, though. Aha! I found it. I don't think I've ever actually been in here before. I have not. That is... Alright, this isn't what I expected. All kinds of stuff piled up everywhere. Towels, jackets. Looks like they put together a good collection of school equipment. Damn, a little bit of everything. Food. All right, what do you got for me? What you doing in here? This warehouse is amazing. It has absolutely everything one might need to live a full life. From food to clothes to towels, there's an endless supply to choose from. Okay, but what about, you know, the murder?
Most unfortunate.
Not talking about the warehouse itself might misdirect you, but I see it was pointless. So what? I'll tell you, and only you.
Actually,
Last night I saw her here. Chihiro was in the warehouse.
indeed.
This was right before nighttime.
What are you doing out this late?
Oh, I was just...
Are you planning to go exercise, perhaps?
What? How did you know?
The gym bag?
Because I can see a blue track jacket sticking out of that duffel bag you're carrying.
Oh, you're right. Thanks. Well, I'd better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry.
She stuffed the jacket into her bag in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it. Just like that, she was gone.
Yes,
I
indeed.
assume she was merely stocking up to go exercise in the morning, but it would appear she ignored the nighttime rule and headed directly to the girls' locker room. If she hadn't broken our rule, none of this would ever have happened. You get what you deserve, I suppose. Oof, that's a little harsh. She went to the girls' locker room late at night in order to exercise without anyone knowing. But the strange thing is, there was no trace of the track jacket or duffel bag. Which would mean the killer would have gotten rid of it somehow. Why? Perhaps because it was blue? What else? What else can I do? Where are you? Perfect. You exercise a lot there too. So, I need your help. How's Toko doing? Same as before, she won't come out and she just keeps mumbling about something about Genocide Jack. That's actually not why I'm talking to you. I wanted, because you work out with, yeah, never mind, whatever. So I just left her there. Left her? My head was all swimming. I was getting pretty hungry.
Yeah.
But don't worry, I'm gonna head back as soon as I'm done eating. Okay, and she's not exactly pleasant, but I'm still worried about her. It's fair. Speaking of which, what are you eating? A donut. There's two things I'm sure God created: outer space and donuts. Okay. Really? I bet Chihiro would have liked to eat more donuts. Maybe that was her one big regret. Should have tried to spend more time with her. Come to think of it, who did she spend time with?
Well,
She's a little bit strange. She didn't really hang out with the other girls much. It was like she's trying to keep her distance from us. Actually, Sakura said something similar. Said that even though you and her invited her to exercise with you, she always refused.
yeah, totally.
Wasn't just us either. It's like she stayed away from all the girls. She's shy? I don't know. She talked to boys all the time. Kind of weird to be shy around your own sex, totally fine with the opposite sex. Oh, wait, maybe. Maybe she was used to guys spoiling her. Law says you can't judge a book by its cover, right? Okay, well, anyway. Never really saw her as that kind of girl. I still have a few unanswered questions, though. Alright. Never mind.
I'm getting tired of waiting. Shall we just plunge right in?
Here we go.
It's the moment you've all been waiting for. The class trial. You remember where to meet, right? Please go through the red...
I know. I know. Yeah, it's about to begin. Red door. Such haunting music. It's so haunting. Everyone ready to... What? Am I blind or are we missing someone?
Yo.
Yeah, Toko's not here. And Toko is... Really don't remember.
Come on.
Kidding. How can I forget that little nut job? She's a crucial part of the class trial this time.
What are you gonna do?
I'll go ahead and drag her out here kicking and screaming. Just one moment, please. And just like he said, a few minutes later, he reappeared, dragging Toko behind him. I told him I didn't want to, but he forced me. I can't believe he dragged a girl around. Okay. So now everyone's here, right? Okay, hustle in the elevator. Let's get this shit going. See you guys down there.
Let's go.
Yeah. She was so gentle, so calm and meek. Nobody had any problems with her. And now she's dead. Someone made the choice to kill a girl like that. And that murderer is one of us. Someone standing right here. Anything you want to add? Something odd about Toko's behavior. I don't think mere shock is enough to explain it. I mean, I agree 1000%. Touche. Yep, let's do it.
It's true.
I gave a small nod, and here we go. Here we go. I couldn't get a handle on my emotions. I couldn't stop speculating. That's an eternal fucking mood right there. The steel box sank with heavy clicking sounds, just like last time. Came to a sudden stop. I redecorated. Isn't it so fresh? Isn't it so exciting? Don't waste our time with stupid questions. Let's get this over with.
Very nice.
You're rip raring to go, gotta say. I don't hate it, not at all.
Well.
Okay, well. Let's get this on the road. Yep.
Kills! Kills!
Fair enough. And so the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment. A deadly deception. A deadly betrayal. A deadly riddle. A deadly defense. A deadly faith. A deadly class trial. Would love to save. Increases damage to the opponent when a statement is destroyed. Wait. Oh yeah, because none of the other skills I have are like the one I have is like you get more coins when you find shit. It's more of a passive thing. I think I'm ready. I'm gonna look over this shit one more time. Okay. Should be good. I'm ready, let's do
Let's
it.
begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
Okay, so random like completely unrelated technically to this game question that I really want to ask before we go any further. The class trial aspect of this game, is that what Phoenix Wright games, or rather Ace Attorney games, is that what those are like? Because I've never played any Ace Attorney, Phoenix Wright, whatever games before, but this is really cool. So, cool. Cool. Not exactly, but kinda. Hey, as long as it's like kinda, that sounds dope to me.
Okay, then. So, first off, let's talk about the murder weapon!
Okay. First, we have to make clear what was used to deliver the fatal blow. It was the dumbbell, wasn't it? I gotta try to remember the controls. I think shift was to slow things down.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
Accurate.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
There's a locker room, but that's not false.
I bet it was an iron pipe.
Bullshit.
Interesting.
Oh, it was okay.
That certainly would
I need to like
make a
lead
powerful
it.
weapon.
I need to lead it ahead.
Poor Chihiro.
I forgot how slow the bullet in this game is. That's my bad. That's my bad. Weapon had to be at the scene of the crime. Yeah, I know what it is. I forgot you had to like really
Chihiro's
lead it.
fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used
Playing
a
too many other
blunt
shooters where
instrument.
bullets go.
What
You know what I
kind
mean?
of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
Interesting. That certainly
what?
would make for a powerful weapon.
Did I
Poor
miss?
Chihiro.
Did I miss? It slightly missed. Oh, okay. I'm just a loser. All right.
Chihiro's fatal injury.
Fine, I'll slow down time.
It appears it was a
I
head
let it too
wound.
much, apparently.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
No, that's wrong.
Cut! Music's
Can we
great.
agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell, found at the scene of the crime? It was covered in blood, and there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell. As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
You looked at her head wound?
Yay! That's so creepy!
If you don't mind, I will proceed from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit. Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
What? For real?
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
I disagree. Did he really kill Chihiro? A new element has been added to non-stop debates. Of course there has! Of course there has! For this debate, lines of white noise will appear to disrupt your reactions. Your truth bullets will disappear if they hit these lines. So think of them as obstacles in your debate. There's a way to keep this white noise from getting in your way. Press the right mouse button to attach the silencer, which you can use to shoot down the white noise. However, you shoot an actual or marked silencer instead of the white noise, the time limit will decrease. Take careful aim when you have your silencer out. Oh, but if your action difficulty is set to gentle, white noise won't appear at all. In which case, you can forget about the silencer, just focus on the situation in front of you. Good luck, have fun. Oh, shit. Okay. But there were, because all the girls had sewing kits.
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure of it. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible.
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on. There's just no proof for it.
Gotcha.
No, that's wrong.
Can't.
I might know one reason he could be involved.
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library. I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What? That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth, so let's forget about that for now. More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file, there appear to be two defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right. Boob lust.
Can we shoot him?
No. It's actually bloodlust.
But more important is the other characteristic, and it's something that has never been made public.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Why don't you tell them, Makoto?
Has to do with the positioning of the body.
I got it! Apparently, in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way. Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one logical answer I can think of. It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
No fucking way!
You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us?
Yes, in fact, it's Toko.
Just like that.
What?
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
Just like that.
You lie!
What? Hey, okay, wait, hold on a sec. Toko has, like, bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
Bloodophobia. My favorite.
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no.
Another riddle. Man, why is this gotta be so complicated?
Turtle for sure, but I feel like I understand it. What it means for Genocide Jack to be Toko, but also not to be Toko. It's not she's just one person, but she's multiple people. Yeah. Wait. Oh shit. Okay. Oh! Get out of the way.
Now I understand. Is it because Genocide Jack has a split personality?
Yeah, that was not the word I expected it to be, but as soon as it clicked in my head, I was like, oh.
Huh?
I think I read that somewhere in the file, too. They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
perfectly acceptable. Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
The one thing that shows she could have a split personality. I mean, all of the above, but it's mainly that her behavior changed.
I got it! You're talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right?
Yeah, the stutter going, even calling back to the fact that her stutter had gone.
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
But she also acted surprised to find the body. Must have hurt her head real hard when she fainted. Front to back, top ending, bottom, sea of truth, web of lies. Yeah, remember that.
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can handle blood, and one that obviously can.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
Yep. I'll drive out the killer. Drive out the murderous fiend.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
How?
Yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Oh.
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story.
Oh, shit.
She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
Wow, what a dick.
This is all a lie. Right, Toko?
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
What?
You promised! I can't believe you lied!
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to. This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale.
I feel like I'm not even participating. Like, I'm just sitting back here watching this happen.
Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise...
Couldn't keep our promise. Don't worry, never again. Damn.
You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me. That's the only reason I promised.
How many times do I have to tell you? I never said that, but you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried. I swear I tried to control it,
But your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
I hate you.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
The person? You don't mean...
Toko's body suddenly lunged backwards. A huge thud echoed across the courtroom, but in the next second...
Well, hello there! Is it me you were hoping to see?
Well, that's gonna haunt my nightmares for the rest of my life.
What the heck? So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do?
Genocide Jill.
I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
What the fuck is this?
Toko, what happened to you?
Not Toko, that's a loser name, and what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's faults.
So intense.
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know.
Lana joke.
Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie. Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
I mean, I have to agree, Tractor. This is the murderous fiend Genocide Jack. This is beyond insane.
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Look at that fucking face! What's up?
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you. I am the mastermind of all masterminds! Just kidding!
Then it's not true?
Of course it's not true! How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid! And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless!
That's what I'm wondering, Tom. I'm like, holy shit, dude.
I mean, they just let this idiotic, bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town!
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people. It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again!
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death. There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
A motive?
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed.
Oh.
Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack. If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined. So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
He makes a point.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
Huh? But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion.
Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Yeah. I could never believe a word you say, you monster.
Maybe. Maybe she's totally right about that, but something's still bothering me. What she said. I need to get some more details about all this.
But I didn't kill anyone!
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking!
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely.
No, it doesn't!
What more proof?
Wasn't fast enough. It doesn't.
Give it up. You killed her.
That's what it is. This wasn't fast enough.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone!
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking!
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches.
No, that's wrong! Are the methods of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that. I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Huh? How's it any different?
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you!
Damn.
I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee. This is no creation of mine.
Let me rephrase that. in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
In photos from the other cases, look at the neck and stomach. Here you'll see a clear difference.
I got it! For one, the cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
Ah, yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method? And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
The way they were suspended.
That's right! In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce!
I really want to try pesto one day. Just never gotten around to it.
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking?
Yeah, it's making me hungry.
So, are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
That's right. The second difference is related to how she was suspended. In the photos of the other Genocide Jack cases, all the other victims were stabbed through their hands. Here you see a clear difference in what was used.
I got it! Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her? They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them. Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
And guess what? I used my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement. Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else? Big Mac said there's two differences, but he's wrong.
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
Now I'm really hungry.
Listen up, Big Mac. There's actually one more difference.
Huh?
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case. There's a pattern there, just waiting to be discovered.
A pattern?
Oh no.
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
Oh shit. There's a pattern. If you look at the names of every victim, what you'll notice is...
I got it! Is it because Chihiro was a girl?
Bingo! Bullseye! Right on the money!
What are you talking about?
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
Loads of names.
They were all guys?
That's right! The people I kill with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men!
Something just shook the house.
I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl, and the mopey side of me just hates it. But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged fan madam!
So, since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Oh, fucking...
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid. I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. It's the absolute reality of the one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it.
Snake.
It's a different matter entirely, when you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, lowly cur!
Lowly? Cur?
Ooh.
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect!
Makes a point.
That does make some amount of sense.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school?
False. Sewing kit.
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class envy of the entire world scissors!
Okay.
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about that? Da-da-da-da!
Oh, yeah, okay.
She's fully equipped.
Damn right she is.
That's right! So I can go anywhere, anytime. Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my
Where the
side?
fuck did she get those?
Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong. You can't, can you? Gutter dogs, all of you. Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot. So rope's totally out of the question anyway.
I have no idea what's going on anymore. Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Yeah. That's why we figured it had to be the real deal and not some copycat killer or whatever.
Actually, hold on. There is one person. One person who could have copied the cases. Ah, shit! Shit! And I know! Hey, buddy! Hey, buddy! How you doing?
Here's my answer. Byakuya, it's possible you could have found out, isn't it? You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records. Plus, you'd already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
Then, the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it. The adorable glasses man was behind it all. Oh, I'm on fire!
Okay.
Well, Byakuya, what's your response?
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me. Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
Looking back and thinking about it now, the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange.
They're suspicious. Wouldn't you agree? Seems somebody searched the locker rooms. Let's start with the girls' locker room.
You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy...
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say? The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
Nothing strange about that, I'd say.
On the contrary, there's something very strange.
Okay then, what's so strange about it? Go ahead, share with the rest of the class.
There's a clear contradiction in what he just said. I need to make it clear to everyone. New element. All right, hit me. We're gonna add something called Truth Flashback. If you aim at a weak spot and hold down the left mouse button, then you'll memorize that weak spot. This memorized phrase can only be shot once as a single truth bullet. If you shoot or change the truth bullet, it will disappear from your truth cylinder. However, you can use this flashback feature as many times as you want. If you don't seem to have the answer to a lie or contradiction in your loaded truth bullets, it might be wise to memorize a different weak spot and use that to make your case. Oh my god. When's the best time to flashback? Well, you just have to use your keen wits, won't you? In this case, though, I will say if you don't use a flashback, you won't be refuting anything. Good luck, have fun.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl.
Wait.
So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first.
Wait.
There was no time for pointless distractions.
I think now's the time for it.
What's so strange about that?
That's what I need.
I wish you'd taken me with you.
Here's a comment about Chihiro being a girl. I realize there's a clear contradiction there. But it doesn't make sense how he could have known before we'd even found it. Yeah.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
This is bizarre.
I wish you'd taken me with you.
Now we loop around.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body.
Shoot!
Shit, I fucked up.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird...
It's like, I know what I want to say, I just don't know how to get...
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room...
Oh, I'm not trying to contradict. I'm okay.
Take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
I wish you'd taken me with you.
This is different.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before
What if I take that one?
But he was acting
Because there's only
weird...
two, so it has to be the other way around.
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out
I don't quite get why this works.
Room,
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro.
No, that's wrong.
I don't quite get why that works.
I'll tell you what's so strange about that. Because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was. So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up.
I see. That's a good answer, I must admit. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak.
Huh?
What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead. Show us.
What's with his attitude? It's like he doesn't even care. I've got him cornered, but he's acting like it has nothing to do with him.
What's the matter? You're not finished already, are you?
Dude.
There must be more to it.
There is. I think.
There is more to it. Think about it. We just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents.
I think it's time to work on the rope.
The proof you're looking for is hidden in there.
Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
Hey, Liam, how you doing, man? Differences between this case and other Genocide Jack murders. The evidence that proves Byakuya is responsible is hidden in there? What could it be? Oh, okay.
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
That's right! It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
Bullshit!
No, that's wrong.
Gotcha now.
Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. Because, you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord?
What? An extension cord?
Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
And Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message.
Nope.
I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right?
He's doing it again. He's totally calm, totally unconcerned, as if he's not even involved. Wait, not even involved?
What's wrong? I asked you if you think that's what happened.
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right? Byakuya's the killer.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second? I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Huh? Do we really need to? We've already decided who did it.
I know, but still. There's something that's still bothering me.
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you? I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you?
Wait, what was that just now? Something's not right. Chihiro's body was definitely found in the girls' locker room, but does that mean... Can I really just accept what he said as the truth? No, there's definitely something off about what he said.
I got it!
Scene of the
You
crime.
say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
This is where it's gonna happen.
How disappointing. What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown. She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that. How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later, along with the rest of the murder scene.
The rest of the murder scene? That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
I do.
I believe I do.
Did I just take you off guard? When the story suddenly moved to the crime scene, Byakuya, who had been so confident up until now, maybe he never even realized the actual scene of the crime could have been somewhere else.
Don't just move on without permission! What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
Evidence that shows the murder took place somewhere else. There was something that was switched between the girls and the... Okay, well, there was actually two. The stain that's been moved and the posters that have been moved. The poster's more obvious, though, so... Yeah?
I got it! The proof that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Your proof is some posters?
The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big-boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange? Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Meanwhile, the boys' locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado. Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Protein coffee?
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet. But I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
No, it's not that it was scrubbed away. It was moved. Wait, hang on. That one.
I got it! The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Then, does that mean that the carpets were switched too?
Because they would have blood on it.
But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think? What? In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the blood-stained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
Huh?
Why would they go through all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime?
Because it implicates a girl instead of a boy.
Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place?
And there it is.
To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device. But Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room. She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
No, she did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
I highly doubt that.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
See, right? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow? Yeah, you stole one of the ebooks. The broken one now?
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I've got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook! She was the ultimate programmer, after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course.
No, that's wrong.
Because his is broken.
No, I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's handbook?
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one. In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yup. Hit the nail square on the noggin.
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
So then, she must have hacked hers, like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills and...
Psst! You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts blaring.
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't modify her own handbook...
You're figuring it out.
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just... wrong?
Hey, fuck you.
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room. So I guess so.
Okay then, I vote for Byakuya.
What? Is that it then? Chihiro's killed in the girls' locker room, and Byakuya's the one who did it. Really?
Hold on a second.
Oh.
I agree with you, though. I think you're on the right track.
What the? You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you've got to say? There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right? So...
You're awfully defensive.
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one other way she could have gained access.
What?
What are you talking about? What other way is there?
Well, to explain that, why don't we take a little break from the trial? I'd like you all to come see something.
What?
Wait. Just what do you think you're doing?
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
Huh? It'll make things more exciting?
You were playing that bear like a fiddle, and I love it.
Well, all right then. I declare an official class trial recess.
For real?
Now then, what is it you want to show us? It better not be boring or I'll be very unhappy.
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty expectations. So, shall we go?
So before I even knew what was happening, the class trial had been put on hold. We headed off with Kyoko in the lead. And where she took us was... Is it gonna be the room? Oh, or not, okay. Just gonna lift up the skirt. There's gonna be a penis.
Girls' locker room?
Go get banned, here we go.
We've already searched this place top to bottom. What are you trying to pull, Missy?
I'd like you to examine the victim's body one more time.
Oh God, she going. You wanna check it again?
Be sure to examine the entire body very carefully. Take your time.
Examine her carefully? Like using our hands? No way, no way, no way, no way, no way!
It's probably best if I don't run my hands all over a girl's dead body.
It's not that I'm creeped out or anything, it's just... based on religious grounds, you know?
Very well. I'll do it.
But you're a girl. You shouldn't have to touch a dead body. Just let one of the boys do it.
Who's brave? Of course.
No, it's okay. I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her. So just leave this to me.
Sakura. What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action? Is that what you two are about? That's not it at all. Stop screwing around.
Okay, here I go. I'm sorry, Chihiro. Please excuse the intrusion.
Putting her hands together in a brief prayer, Sakura then began to quietly examine her body.
Be sure to check her entire body, and I believe we will solve this particular mystery.
Her entire body? I know you say that, but... What? This is... What is this...
Now she's really gone Super Saiyan.
What is it?
Not possible. It's not possible.
Sakura's eyes were staring wildly at Chihiro's lifeless form. Her massive frame trembled.
This girl is
what?
Is a boy.
There it is.
Ah, I see. So she was actually a he.
What? You're joking, right?
I wouldn't joke about this.
Then it's really true?
Chihiro was...
Don't do it.
a guy?
Don't do it.
Oh, what? You guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat. Chihiro Fujisaki was totally a guy.
He was a cross-dresser? Oh, I'm really on fire! I wish I had killed him!
So that's what Kyoko wanted to show everyone, huh? Interesting. Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting. Now let's ride this wave of excitement back to the courtroom and get back to the trial. I do apologize for keeping you waiting. Now then, let's resume the class trial. We've all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy. Let's pick up from there.
Which means that the killer has to be a dude and therefore can't be genocide Jill.
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy.
To think that Chihiro was actually a guy, thought it never even crossed my mind. Crossed my mind several
And because
times.
the victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion. The victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and was then later moved to the girls' locker room. And the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
Yep.
So Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body.
I do.
But yes, that does seem plausible.
Well, I must admit, I did find it rather odd. I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
This is the most titillating situation!
So now everything has been connected. All the mysteries have finally become clear.
Okay, well, connected or clear or whatever. We still think you're the killer, remember?
Very interesting. This has become very interesting indeed.
He's off in his own little world.
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned, do you still think Byakuya's the killer?
I mean...
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it. But I think he might not actually be the killer after all.
What? But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place?
He just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery. The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... how can I put it? Overt. He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder. At least, that's how I see it. And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you. And then again when you found out Chihiro was actually a guy. If you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
Mark it as correct?
He's right. I am not the culprit. I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
Oh my god.
Are you fucking with us right now?
No, I am not effing with you right now. I'm telling you the truth.
Well, I find it very hard to believe.
Go ahead, find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
If you're really telling the truth, then why? Why do you do that to his body?
My reasons hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is much more important, wouldn't you say?
You're bored. You did it because you're bored.
Now then, if it wasn't me, who was it?
Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it a little more.
Same.
We're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear Byakuya did it.
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility.
Holy shit.
Because if we're wrong, we all die here.
That's true. Very well then. I'm with you too.
Damn straight. Count me in.
Do you not have a mind of your own?
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something?
Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time. We still have time to make our decision.
That's very true.
Our lives are all on the line.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
But if Byakuya didn't do it, then who's the real killer? Who murdered Chihiro? One thing we can be sure is that we know about the killer. The killer was able to gain access to the real murder scene, which means the killer is a guy.
I got it!
For sure. Since the crime scene was the boys' locker room, you would need a boys' handbook to get in. Since Leon's handbook is apparently broken, the killer would have had to have used their own. In other words, it had to have been a guy. Yeah. Okay, so we do need more, but... Celeste's account. What is Celeste?
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but Did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
That's...
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer.
False.
And only the killer.
No, that's wrong.
God, these are tense, dude.
I believe someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes, I did see him.
I don't know how that helps us, but...
Really?
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this. The rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noises.
Whatever! Just hurry up and tell us!
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag, and then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
A track jacket and a duffel bag? But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
It's true.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd.
I'm kind of in a hurry.
Chihiro told me he was in a hurry, but why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him, I should think.
Oh my god.
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times, and he always declined.
Because he wouldn't be able to. Wrong locker room.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding, right?
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much. Enough so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed.
Ooh, what a marvelous friendship! The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
I can eliminate some possibilities.
No, you already have what you need to make the connection.
I've narrowed it down to 2.
Huh?
You know who the killer is.
Seriously?
Who is it? Who's the killer?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of. Focus on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for him.
Are you sure about that?
It was me, I did it.
You really think we can figure out who did it based on 2 pieces of evidence that we don't have?
What? You want to track down some fingerprints or something?
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it.
As was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Easy for you to say, but fine. Celeste, did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket?
The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special.
Sorry, Jack. It had to be done.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from. Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took.
Does the track jacket really hold some clue about the killer? Somehow it's really hard to believe. Yeah, it kind of is.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed.
That's a lot of
He
lines.
was on his way to go exercise.
Accurate.
So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
All about it was the
got it.
color.
We picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Cause exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way. Not a chance.
There's only...
You heard him, right? What he just said without even realizing it?
I've got you. Oh my god.
First of all, we
oh
know
my
where Chihiro was
god.
headed.
I know who did it.
He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that
I got you by the
tracksuit
balls
because
now.
It matched the one the culprit
It's
was
really
wearing.
unfortunate.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue track.
No, that's wrong. Hold on a second, Mondo. What did you just say?
Huh? What'd I say?
When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she said...
I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag, and then I assume he headed off to exercise.
She never said anything about the jacket's color. So why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
Got him.
What are you? You just...
Hey, Celeste. What color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
As a matter of fact, it was blue.
And before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that?
The only one I told about any of this was you.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
Because I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
They weren't anywhere.
No, that can't be it. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was is if he saw Cherry with it before he died! That's the only possibility!
Cherry.
Cherry? Are you talking about Chihiro? So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Your tongue is horrifying.
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night. He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hands.
No, that can't be it either. According to Celeste's testimony,
She stuffed the jacket into her bag in a hurry. It was almost like she's trying to hide it. Just like as she was gone.
when Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag. If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was.
It would appear you've dug your own grave.
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
Ah, now I understand. It was all one big bluff, wasn't it? Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from the culprit.
And it worked.
That's why you said you knew who did it, to put them on edge.
That's right. However, Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
Really?
But why? What made you so suspicious?
That's a good question. There was a certain turning point that tipped me off. Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to refer to men and women differently. You only call guys dude. For girls, it's chick. And after he was killed, you happened to refer to him as dude. Once I picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
You notice such a tiny detail?
Are you a witch? She's a witch! You're positively frightful!
No, I'm not the frightful one. Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
Mondo, was it really you? Did you really kill Chihiro?
I didn't kill anyone! You've been all over me, judging everything I say, putting words in my mouth. What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal?
Yeah! He would never do something like that! This is a false accusation!
It's true. My reasoning on that is pretty shaky.
That was fast.
Well, this does present us with a problem. It seems we are all out of leads.
My time has nearly come. That's what my little ghost friend is telling me.
What?
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling me you'd found some evidence?
Really? What kind of evidence?
Actually, you know, now that I'm thinking about it here calmly, it might not be all that relevant.
Jeez, did your confidence just get up and walk away? It's fine, man. Just tell us.
If you really insist, then... here it is.
What do you have there?
It happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up.
You found it on the ground. I assume it was Chihiro's since we don't know where his is.
I got it! We know Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime, right?
For a fact.
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must hold some clue about the culprit, right?
Well, that's what I was hoping. But it's busted. It won't even turn on.
I imagine the culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence after the murder.
That's odd. I didn't think the handbooks were quite so fragile.
You're right. They're not.
But they do have one weak point you mentioned, yeah?
They're totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one.
And yet, this one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall. For all your confidence, that is a remarkably high failure rate.
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere? How, precisely, did the handbooks get broken?
Some impossible explanation. Yeah, the weak point. I remember that.
I got it! You already told us before that the handbook has one weak point, didn't you?
Exactly.
Yeah! You remember that? Sure, maybe I let that slip, but I never told anyone what the weak point actually was.
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and two of them broke in quick succession, then...
Then we can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness. You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it?
Huh? You're asking me?
I think it's a necessary piece of information if you want this to be a fair trial.
But if I tell you, and someone else decides to copy it, that would be very not good.
Just tell us already. Why would we want to break our own handbooks?
Oh well, I have a weakness for pushy demands. But you're sure you won't follow their example? Then allow me to make a special announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is... when it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally break!
The sauna.
I flippin' knew it!
You knew it?
Yeah, because I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna. The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees. Strange how you don't get burnt, huh? It's because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin. If the hot air of the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried. That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around. So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
Interesting.
Interesting. I learned one new fact today.
Same.
That is a mere trifling speck of knowledge.
Anyway, if you found the victim's handbook in the sauna, Then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to break it.
And that's why you wanted... Mondo, you sly fuck.
Meaning the culprit somehow knew its weakness.
But how'd they find out? Monokuma said he didn't tell anyone, right?
Indeed. Quite the mystery.
What if they found out by accident?
There it is.
What do you mean by accident?
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness, and it broke? They'd realize it was broken, of course, and it wouldn't be hard to figure out why. And once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it.
I won't say it's not possible, but who would have done something like that? I don't know of anyone who took their handbook into the sauna.
I might know someone who did.
Here it comes.
Whoa! Seriously?
I think the one who may have taken their handbook into the sauna was...
Had to be the one who wore all their clothes into the sauna. Oh my god! That's amazing.
Here's my answer. Mondo, your handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it?
What? Why? Why do you keep accusing him?
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago, remember? And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on. But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets.
I can't believe this scene ended up being important. Oh my god, this game.
And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
No, wait, hold on. You've got it all wrong. He would never kill. I don't accept this. Show me the proof. The actual solid proof.
I mean, I don't want to believe it either, but I found something that proves it to be beyond a shadow of a doubt. I did?
Let's test Makoto's assertion.
How do you cycle?
If what he says is correct, then Mondo,
No, how do you cycle?
broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually
Thank you.
broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Yeah.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
Does it? I'm
See?
probably gonna come
Look!
back to that.
Makoto was wrong after all. Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly.
I think I've got it. I'm sure Mondo's handbook broke during their sauna showdown. If I can just prove that, it'll show it. Yeah.
Let's test Makoto's
Wait.
assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if
Yep.
Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just...
But
No,
duh.
it's wrong. Mondo, the handbook you have right now, is it really yours?
It's Leon's.
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
The broken handbook that was in the main hall, isn't that one actually yours?
What the heck are you talking about?
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually worked. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own. After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's, which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right now is actually Leon's, yes?
But doesn't that violate the school regulation that says loaning out your handbook is prohibited?
Well, here's how I look at it. There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student, but if they're dead, they're not a student. It's It's kind of a gray area, I admit. But no worries. If anything, it just makes things more interesting. As such, I decree that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
It's good to know.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so. I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but...
Son of a bitch.
What's wrong, bro? Come on! Tell him he's wrong! You are wrong! You have to be wrong! Everything you just said is wrong! You made it all up!
Okay, then why don't we look back on this case one more time?
Oh, comic book time. Shit.
That way, everything will become clear, and we'll all see if I was right or wrong.
God. What does that say? What the hell does that say? Here, you can use the card reader to go in. Okay, yeah. Oh, is that what that says? I can't read that at all. Feels bad. Feels bad. I can't. Is that you walking in? Holy shit. So many dead ones. Could that be what it is? Like the splatter? Maybe. Splatter on the poster. Because it would have been on the impact that it splattered, so. Rolling the carpet up. You'd be switching out the poster. That would go somewhere here, probably. This one's a little tricky because there's so many dead ones, you know? Well, I assume it would be taking the poster. And... you haven't put it up yet. That would go, and then it would be the girls' bathroom. Yeah? Because that's where you're taking them. Yeah, and then you're accessing it. Okay. Would that be... no. Okay, this shows them already switched, so you putting the poster back up. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that shows you already walking in with the extension cord, so that means that's likely a dead one. Damn. Just make sure I'm getting it right. Okay. So then he comes in. Well, no, I guess if it's showing that he's tying her. Okay, maybe. Cause yeah, maybe. Cause he is about to use it. And then he uses it to tie her up. And then he draws. 2 left. I assume that's a picture of the sauna? I'm still curious to see why he did it, but... Okay, so... This is the sauna. So it's gotta be that then? Yeah. Maybe?
Here's exactly what happened. First, let's take a look back to before the incident. Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct? At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag. That something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm this, right, Celeste? With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room? Simple, because she was really a he. Which is why he was able to use his own e-handbook to gain entrance to the boys' locker room. Once inside, he met with someone there. And the person he met was the one who killed him. It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro, and attacked him. And that's where the bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came from. It was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned. Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First, pulling up the bloodstained carpet, then removing the bloody poster, and finally carrying the corpse into the girls' locker room. A girl's handbook was necessary to get into the locker room, of course. But this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been placed in the main hall. Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room without much problem. And that's exactly how the killer did it. With the carpet and the poster they brought with them, they got to work. They changed the layout of the boys' and girls' locker room in what you might call a crime scene switch. That could have been the end of things, but no. The Yakuya discovered the body and decided to intervene in the situation, making things even more complicated. So, after stumbling on the crime scene, he went and grabbed the extension cord from the library, and then...
Oh, shit.
He used the cord to string up Chihiro's lifeless body.
It's fine. It's 3 words, it's fine.
Then, using the victim's own blood, he left a grisly message there at the scene of the crime. He wanted to create the illusion that Genocide Jack was responsible for the slaughter. And around the same time that Byakuya was putting together this facade, the killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and other belongings, arrived at the sauna. There, they planned to destroy the last piece of evidence, Chihiro's handbook. And just as the killer expected, the steamy sauna was enough to ruin the electronic gadget. Somehow, the killer knew that the handbook couldn't stand up to the heat of the sauna. And the reason they knew that is because the sauna had already wrecked their own handbook. And that's how it all played out. Isn't that right, Mondo Owada?
Got it.
Wait! No! This can't be right! Where's your evidence? Yeah! Where's your evidence? You need evidence! You need proof! Without any proof, you can't pin any of this on him!
Evidence that Mondo's the killer. That already revealed itself earlier in the trial. If I can somehow show where Mondo's handbook is right now, once I do that, everything will become clear. A new element has been added to bullet time battles. Oh, Jesus. Let's talk a little bit about fever time and nega time. During a bullet time battle, if you press the space key, fever time will activate, tempo will be forced to its max. At this point, even if you push the buttons at random, you won't miss. So you can push right mouse button, left mouse button, right mouse button, left mouse button, however you want, destroy the opponent's verbal assault. But this only lasts till your focus gauge runs out, so make the best possible use of your time. Of course, it wouldn't be fair if only you got to access special time, right? So we've also prepared something called nega time that your opponent can use. If the opponent activates it during the bullet time battle, your tempo marker will disappear, making it quite a bit tougher to hit the buttons in rhythm. If you were to activate fever time at this point, never mind, I'm sure nothing would happen. I don't know what I was worried about. Unsurprisingly, if your action difficulty is set to gentle, they won't use nega time. I've actually forgotten exactly how this works. So.
Show me some evidence! You're wrong! I won't listen! I refute you! False! Show me some evidence! I won't listen! False! I refuse to vote! Show me some evidence! You're wrong! I won't listen! I refute you! False! Show me some evidence! I won't listen! False! Show me some evidence!
This should prove it!
Well, that was interesting.
If my thinking so far is right, Mondo must have replaced his broken handbook with Leon's. In which case, we can just check each of our handbooks right now. Once we do that, we'll...
We don't gotta do that.
Huh?
Yeah, I did it. I killed him.
GG. That got fucking...
Bro! What are you saying?
I got no choice, man. After hearing all that, I gotta just... give up. Go ahead, Monokuma. Get it over with. Ask for the goddamn verdict.
Roger that!
Wait! Hold on!
No waiting! No holding on! Time for the moment we've all been waiting for! Grab your lever and give it a yank! Who will you elect as the Blackened this time around?
Wow.
Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? What?
Some looks like you got it right again. It is so. The Blacken that killed Chihiro was Mondo.
Unbelievable.
In case you're wondering, the vote was not unanimous. Taka chose the wrong answer because he's an idiot. Trading very close to the danger zone. You need to be more careful. There's no way you go no more.
Sorry.
What is this?
Why?
Now then.
Well, it looks like Mondo's taking a vow of silence, so allow me to explain on his behalf.
Actually...
The story of the murder this time is the sad story of two men. But for anyone who doesn't really want to hear it, you can hit the control key to fast forward the text. Anyway, there was once a young boy, and his name was Chihiro. An extreme inferiority complex regarding his own lack of strength. You're so weak even though you're a boy. He'd heard things like that for as long as he could remember, and he couldn't overcome his weakness. On the contrary, he tried to hide and buried himself further and further into that weakness. Take on the fragile form of a petite young girl. He had chosen that as his way out. Now nobody will be able to say anything about even though you're a boy. But no matter how tightly he wrapped himself in that shell, the inferiority complex had already taken root deep inside of him. It was not so easily weeded out. As it turned out, the shell was completely empty. The complex didn't disappear. Instead, it only grew stronger and stronger.
Weak, 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 weak.
Once the killing game had begun here at the school, he had no choice but to accept this fact. After all, this world is survival of the fittest. If you're not strong, you don't survive. And then the lovely and hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets, which of course included Chihiro's embarrassing secret, which I was more than willing to divulge. Even though he dresses like a girl, Chihiro's actually a boy.
Hey,
And that was something Chihiro couldn't let anyone find out, no matter the cost. If that was revealed, it would be the end. The hardened shell would crack and the armor would fall away. Without a doubt, those around him would torture him more than ever before. Everyone figured being thrust into such a dilemma must have sent him spiraling into despair.
What?
And yet...
I'm sorry.
But I also don't want to leave things the way they are, so maybe I can talk about it later. After I try my best to become strong, then I can tell everyone. You were gonna do something about it. That's awesome. You were gonna try. Annoyingly, he used the thread of discovery to motivate himself to become stronger.
That's right. I want to change.
Wow. Strong enough so that when someone says, even though you're a boy, I'll be okay, I'll get better. With that thought at the front of his mind, he resolved to take immediate action, and so... That day he made the commitment to begin exercising. He was prepared to retrain his mind and body. But sadly, that would be the first and only chance he would get at it.
Hey,
When he decided to start exercising, he thought it'd be good to ask for someone's help. But he wanted to tell that person his secret first, and then ask them to help him from there. The person he went to...
Yeah, that's right.
It was Mondo. He chose poorly. The beggar game fella had been painfully clear about how importantly his manly promises were. So Chihiro probably figured that even if he confided in Mondo, his honor would make him keep the secret. Plus, Mr. Macho Mondo was the very symbol of a strong man that Chihiro had always aspired to. Maybe talking to Mondo about it will help give me some courage. So he went and asked Mondo to help him become strong. That was his aspiration. And he thought that only with Mondo's support would he ever be able to come close to that.
Correct.
So that must be why Mondo did what he did, to keep the promise he made to Chihiro. What? I mean, that's why Mondo carried Chihiro from the boys' locker room into the girls' locker room. Oh.
Indeed.
Wasn't that to cover up what he'd done?
Certainly.
Could have been part of it, but I don't think it was the main reason. The real purpose was to keep the promise between men he'd made to Chihiro.
But
How does moving the body keep the secret? Well,
because
if everyone knew he'd been killed in the boys' locker room, then everyone would have been arguing about how she got into the boys' locker room, right? Once that started up, at least a few of us would have immediately begun to suspect his identity, so... He tried to protect Chihiro's secret by putting him in the girls' locker room and stealing his I keep saying handy book, and I don't know why. Handbook. Mondo did all that to keep the promise he made to Chihiro, who he'd also killed.
Yeah.
The more I hear you talk, the more I don't understand. I mean, you guys trusted each other, right? So why? Why did you... Because no matter what, I didn't want anyone to know.
I knew it.
So that's what triggered it after all. Possibility of having your embarrassing memories and secrets exposed.
What is this?
Ooh, uh-oh. Something you didn't want to know, even if it meant killing someone?
You're wrong!
Don't make me repeat myself.
To judge others by your own standard is the height of folly. Even if you can't comprehend it, he obviously can. That's all there is to it. While we're on the subject, why don't I tell you? That embarrassing memory, the secret he didn't want anyone to know?
Hey,
You know what Mondo did? He killed his own brother. Yeah. Mondo, the ultimate biker gang leader, makes all the hoodlums and riffraff across the country tremble. But the only reason he had the chance to join a gang in the first place was because of a certain someone. Mondo's older brother's name was... Daya? Mondo had nothing but respect for him. It was because of Daya that Mondo ever even got on a motorcycle. Mondo's brother was his only family growing up. He was the only one Mondo could trust or respect. He wanted to measure up to his big brother, so he imitated him in everything he did. Mondo was the epitome of the starry-eyed kid brother. Meanwhile, the charismatic older brother had put together a local motorcycle gang, and before anyone knew it, it had grown into the biggest biker gang in the country. Daya, the older brother, number one in the gang, and his number two, his younger brother Mondo. In the beginning, everything was peaches and gravy. Ew. But when Mondo started to think about how he would have to take over the gang from his brother someday, his brother's greatness, his reputation, began to gnaw on Mondo's very soul. The kid's gonna take over for Daya, huh? Daya created this gang with his bare hands. Mondo's just along for the ride. Can someone like that really be our leader? All that'll do is make the gang look bad. Almost every day, Mondo heard the gossip and whispers of the other members of the game. Which is why...
I just...
Oh my god. Wow. Diamondo. Wow. Is that a JoJo reference? Is it a JoJo reference? Gotta get stronger. Stronger than Daya. Once. Just one time. No matter what, I gotta win.
Don't fuck with me.
I don't care what it takes. I gotta come out on top. And on the night of his amazing brother's retirement ceremony, Mondo challenged him to a street race. Crazy Diamond. But during that race, tragedy struck. The kid brother pushed ahead with reckless abandon, eager for victory, dashed into oncoming traffic. But suddenly... Laying in his kid brother's arms, the older brother delivered his final words. My bad, kid. I fucked up. Sorry. Of course, he knew it was his brother's fault. Dai never blamed him for what happened. Hey kid, the rest is up to you. No matter what, you gotta keep the gang together. Because it's the team you and me put together. It's a promise between men. He decided to hide the truth of what happened from everyone else in the gang. In order to keep the gang together and keep the promise to his brother, he could never admit to anyone that it was his own weakness that had caused the accident. And as a result, the team was made even stronger under the banner of the kid who'd bested his big brother. Dai was gonna lose to his kid brother, so he got stupid and died. Got stupid and died. He got himself killed. That became the explanation for what happened. Mondo's lie became the truth. He wanted to lead the team so bad, he was willing to tell all kinds of lies about his brother.
I'm
strong. That's a lot of strongs. And yet, as soon as our killing game began, he realized no matter how tough he pretended to be, he was just another weakling that could die in an instant. And then the hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets. At that point, it was clear I would have no problem shedding light on his secret. Mondo killed his own older brother. No matter what, I couldn't let the other gang members find out. If that happened, everything would have been ruined. Everything me and my brother had worked to create would have been destroyed. His death, all the guilt I'd been carrying around, it would have been for nothing. So that's why... After I saw what Monokuma had on me, my head filled with a kind of fuzzy uneasiness and just started swirling around. Never felt anything like it before. I didn't know what to do about it. I wasn't sure what to think or say, but after a while that fuzzy uneasiness turned itself into a rock-hard lump of anxiety way down in my stomach. And it was right around then that Chihiro asked me to start working out with him. And right there, he told me a secret. Seriously? Jesus.
I'm sorry.
But why? Why now? Why are you telling me this all of a sudden?
Huh?
Because, I mean, you've kept the secret all this time, right? If anyone find out, you'd...
But... I want to change.
I wrap myself in lies. I'm weak. I want to destroy that version of me forever. His words were like a knife in my gut. I felt like he was exposing the lie I'd been living myself. I have to change. I don't want to be weak anymore. What can I help you with, Wolf? What about the witness? You're so strong. It can't hurt you, right? Whatever secret Monokuma might tell us?
You piece of...
So what? You're saying I should just say it?
What?
You're saying if I really am, I should just be able to tell everyone my secret?
Huh?
I was jealous. I was jealous of Chihiro's strength. He had the strength to face his own weakness to try to overcome it. It was the kind of strength I've never had. I was jealous of him. And that jealousy broke me.
What?
Making fun of me. I'm strong. Are you fucking with me right now?
No!
I felt like I could hear something starting to creak. Something inside my head. What did he want me to do? What was I supposed to do? Was I supposed to just sit back and let my secret get revealed and ruin everything?
What's wrong?
Damn you!
Why'd you have to tell me all that? Are you trying to rub my failure in my face?
I just wanted to...
Just really admire you. Admire your strength.
Yeah, that's right.
I am strong. Uh-huh. Strong, 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 strong. Stronger than you!
You son of a bitch!
I don't remember anything after that. When I woke up again, he was laying at my feet covered in blood. I had the dumbbell in my hand and I was just staring at him down on the ground. Wow.
I killed him. I killed Chihiro. Even after all this time, I'm still just as weak as I've always been. And thanks to that, I did something I can never take back.
Damn. He was normally so aggressive, so angry. He hid that weak side away from everyone. That was the secret. A weakness like that lived in a heart like his, and it turned him cold-blooded. Damn. Look at him, you see? You're all just like him. For a secret from the past, for a memory. For that, he killed another living human in cold blood. He couldn't come free of his regrets from the outside world. He doesn't know what true strength is. Do you see hope anywhere in there? Because I sure fucking don't. Shut up, you son of a bitch. Go ahead, say that again. I dare you.
Yep.
Okay. I'll say it as many times as I want. Is what I want to say, but unfortunately I can't do that right now because the time for punishing is fast approaching. Uh-oh.
It can't be.
Here it comes.
Well now, well now, well now, well now.
The blanket that serves the piece will be punished.
Ridiculous.
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
Here we go.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
Sorry, man. I couldn't keep the promise we made. From one man to another.
Another murder and another execution. I want to feel again. Everyone's lives are taken so lightly here. I feel like I might be going mad. Maybe I'll just let it happen. Taka's sad screams invaded our skulls. We were each forced to realize once again, but he, of course he had to. What a disappointment. This is the end of the game. What a fucking prick.
What is this?
You're completely insane, you know that? A game? One of our friends is dead. You realize that?
Naturally.
Because this game is life or death. Hey. I don't have anything to say to you. I don't have a response except that
However,
I just don't understand why. Why'd you go out of your way to disguise Mondo's crime?
What?
I honestly don't remember, Wolf. That whole game was just a fucking nightmarish blur. It made things more interesting, so I was right. He did it because he was bored. His voice was calm, emotionless. Like the voice of death. It chilled me to the bone. Last night when the murder took place, I was in the library as usual.
Honestly.
So you ignore the nighttime rule too. That rule never mattered to me. I don't recall agreeing to it.
There is nothing to be done.
Yeah, whatever. I don't care. Continue. The night grew late and I decided to return to my room, which is when I stumbled upon him. I spotted Mondo coming out of the girls' locker room. After he'd gone, I looked inside and saw the corpse.
What?
He was such a fool. He didn't have the slightest idea that I'd seen him.
Well...
So you're saying you knew who the culprit was from the very beginning?
That's right.
But if that had been the end of it, how boring would that have been? I mean, what a waste of time to have the answer revealed right at the beginning. Which is why I decided to lend a little helping hand. Thought it'd liven things up a little bit. Wow.
I see.
So after hearing about Genocide Jack from Toko, you decided to use that to create the fake murder scene.
But...
Damn, man, if we hadn't figured out who'd really done it, you would have been dead too, right? Obviously, I would have revealed the truth before it reached that point. Of course. Byakuya turned and looked me in the eye. You can feel his sharp eyes piercing into me. Thanks to a certain remarkable someone, it never did. I was able to perform an interesting experiment. Once a dude decided to become blackened, I now know who I'll have to watch out for.
Correct.
Wow. So that was your reason. You satisfied?
Indeed.
Yep. Done listening to your fucking mouth. Moving on.
Hey.
There's something I'd like to ask Monokuma.
What's this?
You like to perform these elaborate executions each time, correct? My question is why? Do you like him? But you know, this punishment, this despair, it's not just for you. All this punishment, all this despair is my gift to mankind itself.
What?
You're over-exaggerating. I am not! These punishments are meant to transform all hope to despair.
Damn.
Huh?
Mean?
What the heck?
Damn it!
I understand why you had to pick apart every little stupid thing. Okay. In the end, I'm gonna stand alone as the victor, and then everything will be revealed to me.
Ooh, how exciting!
The noble son of a noble family. Truly, you understand me. I think this is the start of a terrifying friendship.
That's enough.
Shut up. I never stoop to the level of a childish criminal like you. Just let me say this. After I have achieved complete victory, you're up next. I'm gonna find you and kill you. Understand?
In the name of my family.
For which victory is a foregone conclusion.
You're getting all riled up.
It's like you're the main character of a video game or something. Hey, Laurel, how you doing? I swear, whatever it takes, I will kill you. Ooh, someone needs a nap. I could use a nap. Nap sounds quite nice, actually. Monokuma's laughter peeled across the courtroom, and the curtain closed on the case of Chihiro and Mondo. But I knew that wasn't the end. The killing game would still continue, because the mastermind wouldn't let it end. For those of us who were still alive, our worst fear and despair kept multiplying. It was the kind of despair that felt like a blind puppy in hell had more of a future than us. All of our courage, our effort, our friendship, it felt like it amounted to nothing at all. It was the worst kind of despair.
Well, anyway, like I was saying, this is a pretty good spot. Yeah, a really good spot. Anyway, isn't it amazing how that girl went and killed someone before things even had a chance to get boring? Once things really get moving, it'll be like a roller coaster. There won't be any stopping it. Fear and despair charge forward at a speed nothing can hope to match. But I must admit, I'm disappointed. I went to all the pain and effort of making you part of the group, and you couldn't play your part. You do remember you were supposed to make the first move, right? Well, no biggie. Nothing we can do about it now, so just do your best to make things more exciting from now on, okay? After all, that's what everyone wants to see.
One thing I'd like to ask you.
As long as you don't want to know my measurements, fire away.
Who is it? The 16th high school student, I mean.
Ooh.
My, you really took me by surprise there. I know I said you could ask anything, but super denied, ultra denied, demonic denied. Because you see, that's my ace in the hole. And nobody'd be dumb enough to reveal that, right? No matter how close they were to their friends.
Okay. Five down, 9 to go. Assuming I get out alive alone. We'll see. Ah, crazy diamond. Ah, I would love to save. Thank you. So. Seems like the planets have aligned to tell us this is the perfect place to stop. That was something.